Hi guys, and welcome back to my No Shield Challenge playthrough of Dark Souls. My name is MRB, and we pick up the action right where we left off. I'm going to take all the souls that I've gathered through this first 20-minute video, which if you haven't seen part 1, you should go back and view it to see all the shenanigans I went through in that video. And I have all the items that I kind of want at this point. I'm going to pop all of my hard souls right now and go down to Andre to purchase all the gubbins that I need. So, this part is a little slow, and this whole video is going to be still more of me running around picking up items that I need for this character for early on in the game. With all the souls, I plan on upgrading my falchion to +5 right now. You're going to see me level up to level 10, and the reason that I put all those 3 points into dexterity is because, for one, I need 13 dex to wield the falchion. Up until this point, I actually haven't been able to use it with any effect, which is why I'm still holding the battle axe. And the other reason I bumped it up 1 more point to 14 is I plan on using the longbow. And I'm also going to buy a repair box, and after I upgrade my weapon, you'll see me go back and I'll buy the weapon upgrade box as well. So, as a low-level character, even with a +5 weapon, your damage is much improved over what it was, but it's still not really very good. And for any new players, the number one thing you want to do is get a +5 weapon as early as you can. That'll help tremendously. That'll help you so much to have that. And every playthrough that I ever do, I get a +5 whatever I'm going to use just as early as I can. I will always use those souls to buy 9 Titanite shards, which is what you need to upgrade a basic weapon to +5, and I'll go from there. I'll do some pretty crazy runs to get some pretty unique weapons early in the game, but I always will take my time and buy 9 shards so that I can get a +5 weapon as soon as I reach Andre. You're gonna start seeing some cracks here in my playthrough. It just so happens that if you miss a parry, you really get punished, and that's not something that it was something that I was expecting. I was expecting that this is going to be difficult, and it's certainly starting to show its colors early and often. So you're gonna see some mistakes, some bigger mistakes that I'm used to making this early, so I'm sure that doesn't bode well for the future, but for the time being, I'm doing alright. You can see the falchion is a very quick weapon, but even at +5, it took several swings to take down that Tower Knight. So my damage output is still not ideal. Here's the second Firekeeper soul that I pick up. Again, those are used to increase your Estus Flask potency. And you saw me take my bow out for a second there. I thought about bowing the Chandler, but I think I'm going to wait. I will probably kill him when I actually try to do gargoyles. I'm going to wait on gargoyles. It might come as a little bit of a surprise, but I do think that gargoyles is one of the tougher bosses for a solo player. Just because you have to fight them, or it's likely that you're going to fight them with very low equipment. You're not going to have a lot of really strong, overpowered weapons or anything like that. And if you fight them without a shield and without a summon, that makes the gargoyle fight pretty difficult. I do have a +5 weapon, but I would really... the key to the gargoyle fight is really killing that first gargoyle as fast as you can. That's the key to the fight. And being able to kill him quickly, I think I'll be able to do, but there's a very high risk involved at this point. I think my chances are okay, but I don't want to make this game any harder than it needs to be. So I will come back and fight gargoyles when I am a little bit stronger. Now I'm on my way to get the wolf ring, which will make me quite a bit stronger. The wolf ring will give me poise. To this point, I've been running around without poise. And, you know, basically what poise allows me to do is keep swinging even if I get hit. So if I get hit during an attack, I won't be staggered out of my attack. I'll be able to continue and swing through and continue to deal damage. And that's really important. And right now, since I don't have any poise, anything that touches me basically will cause my character to stagger and basically interrupt anything that I'm doing. So that poise ring is very important. There it is. That's up on the left right there. You can see it. I have to kind of loop around to get it, but... And again, you're seeing the struggles of my damage. I don't have enough stamina to continue to swing, and there I get hit by a tree, and there I get hit by a tree, even though I'm blocking. You know, I just don't have the damage, and I don't have the stamina really quite for this area yet. That being said, I'm still going to run. What you'll see is that I'll run by a lot of enemies in this area, because again, this isn't somewhere that I really should be at this point in the game. But I'm gonna pick up the wolf ring and the elite knight set while I'm here. You see off in that alcove there's an item. There's an ambush waiting for you. 3 of those trees will pop out of the ground the moment you grab it, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it's just a hard soul, and it's not a very big hard soul. So I'm actually not ever going to pick up that item. The reason being, after the ambush, every time you run by that little alcove, instead of lying in wait for you, those trees will be up. They will run out of that alcove and attack you. And I never want to run into them, because I'm just going to be running through these areas when I come back to fight the bosses for these areas. I never want to have to mess with them, so I'm actually not going to ever go in and grab that item. Killed one of the living trees that you saw. They don't actually attack or hurt you in any way. It just took me a couple seconds because I swung through my stamina, so I had to wait there for a second and let it rebuild before I can continue attacking. Here's the wolf ring, and you can do this tricky little jump right here to avoid having to fight that big stone knight. And I'm back to kind of where I was. I'm going to go grab the Elite Knight set and Homeward Bone. Back to the parish. Like I said earlier, I don't believe that the gargoyles will be an easy fight in any way by myself with just a +5 weapon and no shield. So what I'm going to do is head backwards through the game a little bit. I'm going to fight Taurus. I'm going to talk to Solaire and get my white soapstone, my soapstone, my white soapstone, which I will never use, but I'll pick it up from him anyway, in case I want to use this character in New Game Plus. And then I'm actually going to head and fight Capra. Capra is one of those bosses that has been on my mind since the beginning of this playthrough, and the reason being is that's a boss fight that I really love a shield in. I really love to block, because you know right when you walk in that door you kind of get attacked by dogs and Capra, and everybody kind of gets all over you. And having a good shield is really, really useful for that fight. And I don't know if I've ever really done it without a shield, so it'll be interesting. I'm really not looking forward to it. Some people say that Capra gives you much more trouble than gargoyles, and to an extent I can certainly agree with that. But since I'm not fighting gargoyles, I need a buff. I don't feel like my damage is good enough at this point to be able to just crush that first gargoyle and handle the second one. Here you see me accidentally aggro this guy, this Balder Knight. He gets 2 swings on me and takes me down almost to half health. So for every missed parry at this point in the game, I am getting punished. The Balder Knight's parry timing has never been something I've been super comfortable with at any point. So you'll see right here, I pull out my bare hand ready to parry this guy, but then I take a look at my health and say, nope, this is just going to be a backstab, because I don't want to risk it. So working my way backwards, this is the basement key. That's going to open up the door that'll eventually lead me to Capra. Take a little swig there to heal myself. And you can see me really being careful and really being patient. I've discovered that Dark Souls doesn't actually care how good you are at Dark Souls. And what I mean by that is you never really seem to catch a break. You can't ever not be patient with this game, because the moment you start rushing, the moment you're going to make more mistakes and you're going to get punished for them. And that's going to set you back even further. So being patient is really key. Because Dark Souls, you're going to die no matter what, and it's just waiting to pounce on you. So here I aggro the giant metal boar here, the armored boar. He's going to turn around and leave, and this is the little trick that you can do if you aggro the boar from over here. You can run back to where I am right now, and the boar can't get in there, so he just de-aggros and turns around and walks back down the steps, giving you a free backstab in the only vulnerable place on the boar. Now, I don't know what designer thought this was a good idea, but they're like, I'm sure this meeting went something like this. Alright, we got a new enemy. Okay, what is it? We're going to have a giant armored boar. That's an awesome idea. Yeah, and maybe he'll have a unique helm drop and everything. Okay, I like it. What's his weakness going to be? Let's leave one part of him unarmored that you can hit for critical damage. Yeah, what part is that? Well, it's going to be his butthole. Like, I wish I was sitting in on that meeting, because that would have just been the most ridiculous thing. Because they're obviously like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. So, yeah, the weakness for that boar is either fire, and you can use alluring skulls and trick him into going into that little fire. These little fire things they're right here in his area. You can get him to run into those and kill himself, or you can just backstab him. And look at those snipers. Oh my gosh, those crossbow guys shot me from so far away, and they both hit me in the back. And what you saw there is when I get hit in the back, it staggered me twice. I picked up that wolf ring, and I still haven't put it on because I'm just an idiot. I don't know why the wolf ring. I never put the wolf ring on when I get it, even though I always need it. I just space it because I don't know. You have to kind of get out of that area in a hurry. So jumping away from that stone knight, I never put it on, and it's about here that I finally realize, oh man, I'm not even wearing my wolf ring, which would have really helped me. Instead of getting staggered by both of those arrows, I would have just ran through them. Like, I would have taken damage, of course, but I could have at least run through their damage. I'm just an idiot. Also, this guy I miss a parry, and he hits me twice, and he almost kills me. It probably wouldn't take much more than another hit for him to kill me at that point. It's tough. This game is just tough without a shield. I'm struggling in areas. Usually I just parry that guy, but I didn't see his attack when I was walking up to him, and he just really punished me for it. So now I'm on my way to Taurus. I'm actually going to stop at the Undead Merchant. The reason being I'm going to pick up the bottomless box and the residence key. I don't really need the residence key because I'm not going to use any magic, so I really don't need Griggs at all, who's in the lower Undead Burg. I don't know, I just pick it up for habit. I usually free Griggs even if I'm not going to use him. For some reason, that's just something I do. He seems like a decent fellow, I guess. So, gonna free Griggs, pick up those items, and we'll move on. These guys, I didn't feel like waiting them out, and you'll see me put the longbow to use here. They're not on alert, so I'm just going to shoot them in the head. And I have enough dex, my bow does enough damage, easy peasy. Not even going to mess with them. The problem, one of the big problems with the falchion is when you kick, you don't actually do the kick animation. What you instead do is a swipe with your sword, and then you do like a little flip backwards. You might see me do it on accident at some point. In fact, earlier, if you saw, I actually put the falchion away so I could kick one of the shield guys, and then I pull it back out and swing at him with it to kill him. The falchion just doesn't have a useful kick, and it doesn't function. Curved swords in general all have this little flipping action that you do, and rapiers have one where you kind of swing your rapier and do like a back step. So those two weapon classes actually don't have a kick associated with them, and it really sucks because those are two of my favorite weapon classes, and they just don't have kicks, and that's really annoying because I really like to use kicks. It's one of the reasons I like katanas so much, as cliche as that is, because they have decent damage, good range, good attack speed, swing speed is good. They cause bleed, and you still get to have your kick, and that's just... Look at that Superman right there. I really like using kicks in both PvE and PvP, so it kind of limits my choices. I really wish the curved swords had it, because I like almost every curved sword in the game. There's a special place in my heart for the Painted Guardian curved sword. I think it's so cool, but... Its just range is so bad. Its range is so bad. There's a guy on the other side of this wall that I am trying to hit here. There, I finally do. I'll show you, there he is. With a lot of weapons, it's easier to hit him with. The falchion doesn't actually have a very good move set for hitting through walls. And so I'm gonna have to struggle if I want to hit anybody through a wall like that, because he really doesn't have a very useful move set for that. Again, those hollow soldiers are just... When they do that leaping attack, they can cover so much ground, and you saw me get hit by the guy who like leapt up all the stairs and hit me, and it was just like, alright. It's just kind of BS sometimes. Here's the gold pine resin. This is the buff I'm going to use to fight the gargoyles for sure. Gargoyles are fairly weak against lightning, and fire damage doesn't hurt by any means. But I'm probably going to use lightning against them. Since I'm not going to be using a shield, of course, I really need to be able to pump out the damage. These guys, again, are just extremely defensive. And this is where the falchion really struggles on its own. Because I can't kick this guy's shield away. I missed the bow, and in fact, I believe he protects himself. So if you kind of get up in their grill, sometimes you can bait them to attack and just get a parry in. But the guys with the swords aren't so bad. They'll kind of straight up attack you like this guy will. They'll just straight attack, and you can, counter their damage fine. But the guys with the shields are really defensive and can cause us a little bit of trouble. Here is me debating whether or not I want to try to jump this barrel. In all honesty, I hit it about 50% of the time. But I said, hey, why not? And I got it, so I'll take it. It's about a 50-50 jump for me. Sometimes I get just reamed by the barrel, and sometimes I can make it like that. I thought, hey, why not? Why not try to do something pro in this video before it's over? And then this crystal lizard trolls me, and I thought I was actually going to lose it. Again, only dropping 2 twinkling. That's alright, I guess. But he's, I don't know why I missed that second swing, and then I fell off, and it was just, I thought I was going to lose it for sure, but lizards in this game seem to last longer than in Demon Souls, that's for sure. If this was Demon Souls, that thing would have been long gone, and there'd be nothing I could do. But This is Dark Souls, so I caught a break. Here's where I'm going to fight Tartarus. Or Taurus. I call him Tartarus. I'm not sure why. Probably because of some sort of Greek mythology based thing. Here he is. You can use the leap attack. It's Taurus. I don't know why I call it Tartarus, so I apologize to everyone for that if I let that slip through. It is Taurus Demon. The bull-headed demon. Probably just chilling up here, sunbathing. Again, you can use your leap attack to great effect. He doesn't actually have that many hit points, but generally when you fight him, you don't deal a lot of damage, so it's still a fairly challenging fight. The only thing I really have to watch out for is getting knocked off to the side there. You can see that part of the bridge is kind of knocked away, and I do not want to get knocked off that. So you'll see me play, again, very safe. You can just walk in, bait an attack by him, roll away, and then go back in for some punish damage, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just staying close to him to try to bait out an attack. Once he attacks, I roll away, and then I run back in for punish damage, and pretty easy fight. My taunt of choice is point up because it's badass, man. That's why. So this video is about to come to an end. I'm going to cut it off probably on my way down to the lower Undead Berg. Like I don't know if I said this yet. I'm going to talk to Slayer and get the white sign soapstone. I'm not planning on summoning or being summoned in any way for this playthrough, but if I, maybe do a little New Game Plus, maybe I will want that. So I'm just going to grab it now while I'm here.
I get that look all the time.
And the basement key that I picked up by the big gate is going to be the key that allows me to get into the lower Undead Berg. Again, if you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, give me a like. If you want to see more, like I said last video, I should be coming out with these fairly often. Go ahead and hit subscribe if that's something that you want to see more of. And thanks again for watching.